he galvanizes men. He is a leader of men. He's a magnet, yo. He's a magnet for positivity. And so this Browns offense looked competent. And with that Browns defense, if you give them just a moderate level of decent quarterback play, this team has a chance to do something in the future. But for whatever reason, they don't want their future to be tied to Shedeur Sanders. And I think it's criminal.
Okay, so we got to see Shedeur Sanders finally start in the NFL, and it was a win against the Las Vegas Raiders. He went 11 of 20 for 209 yards, 1 touchdown, and an interception. The Browns went on to win this game 24-10. Now, I like stats, right, Rodney? And this is the first time a Cleveland Browns quarterback has won in their debut since 95.
Yep.
I was 2. I don't know how old you was. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to the bathroom by myself in 95, unlike some people. I thought
I think I was potty trained too, but okay.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm incredibly proud of Shedeur, man. I think he's had such an anointing on him, and whether you like his personality or not doesn't matter so much. There's clearly like a calling on Shedeur, and I don't mean to be all biblical and make it all religious, but there's something very special and something very unique about him, and he just continues to slay dragons at any given moment, you know. And I think that his level of preparation for this week, you can tell he was extremely detail oriented. And though they won this game, he didn't have the best game. You can tell that just getting those reps with the first team made all the world of difference. Like, I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. I don't want to overstate because people don't like when you overstate about Shedeur, but I love this kid. I love his spirit, and I'm incredibly moved by who he is and how his parents raised him, not just Dion. So, yeah.
And Dion was there. He was in the building. He got to share a moment with him before the game. That was really special. And he had Deshaun Watson on the sideline. I'm not really sure how I felt about that.
Pressure makes diamonds. Maybe Deshaun's presence, maybe he feels like he's coming back, so I got to really hold down the spot. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you didn't interrupt me. I wanted your thoughts on that. I don't agree with what you're saying right now, but...
What you disagree with?
Deshaun ain't coming back.
Forever?
Maybe not forever, but...
You don't think he's playing this season?
No. It seems to me like Kevin Stefanski has this unnatural...
Allegiance to losers?
Allegiance to Dylan Gabriel specifically. Okay. Because even in the post game, after we saw, like, you know, like you mentioned, it wasn't the best game from Shedeur, but it was a more promising game than anything that we've seen with Dylan Gabriel. Even when they kept trying to take Shedeur out of the game and do all these wildcats and whatever else. That's neither here nor there.
No, it's here and there.
Well, you're right. They asked Kevin Stefanski after the game about Dylan Gabriel and his concussion protocol. He said, I don't want to get into that. They asked him if Shedeur will be the starting quarterback moving forward. And he's like he can never give a solid answer when it comes to Shedeur like he gave with Dylan Gabriel. When Dylan Gabriel was his quarterback, he said, Dylan Gabriel is my starting quarterback. Don't ask me no more questions. Why don't you have that same confidence in Shedeur? I know, like, last week there was all this discourse about Shedeur getting reps with the ones and how that is just so crazy that Cam Newton came out and was like, the backup at least getting 1 or 2 reps with the ones in practice. And Shedeur gets up here and says that he has not had any throws to Jerry Jeudy all year. That's crazy to me. Like, it's like, I don't want to say y'all setting a man up, but you're showing that you are.
Yeah. He put them in a precarious position. Because this, like, so remember that the last week when he came in after Gabriel got hurt, he did them a huge favor and a huge service by playing so poorly, right? It was like, yo, look, he's terrible, y'all. We tried to tell you. And this week, that whole narrative has flipped. Because now you see with the level of preparation how different this offense can look. We haven't seen that rollout 50-yard bomb that he threw on the run. We hadn't seen any plays like that from Dylan Gabriel in his Cleveland Browns offense all year long. Myles Garrett himself said it. There's not many quarterbacks in this league who can make that throw. And I've been saying it the whole time. He galvanizes men. He is a leader of men. He's a magnet, yo. He's a magnet for positivity. And so this Browns offense that excuse me, that has looked terrible, haven't even been able to make screen passes, in previous weeks. Dylan Gabriel throwing the ball out of bounds on screen passes. This Browns offense looked competent. And with that Browns defense, if you give them just a moderate level of decent quarterback play, this team has a chance to do something in the future. But for whatever reason, they don't want their future to be tied to Shedeur Sanders. And I think it's criminal in many regards. I don't even know. Yeah. I don't even know how his spirit can remain so high in the midst of such adversity. That's why I be blown away at this kid. I be blown away at his smile. It's just the fact that he's still upright. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see, yo. Yeah. It really is.
Because a lot of young kids would be like, oh, forget it. Like the attitude would have been on 1,000. You can't tell me nothing. And he still continues to show up every day. It is amazing to see. But I think that we do have to have a conversation about Kevin Stefanski, the general manager, the owner. Hell, like we got to talk about the Cleveland Browns as an organization because they keep making misstep after misstep. You put all of your eggs in Joe Flacco to trade him away to the Bengals. It doesn't make sense to me. Y'all had 6 quarterbacks on the roster at one point, and it just felt like everything was just all over the place. I don't know what they got going on over there. I really hate that Shedeur was drafted there because it seems as though Stefanski came into this situation with this preconceived notion about Shedeur. I don't know if something turned him off in the interview process, but clearly he is not his guy. And we've seen that happen in the past where coaches get, they come into a situation, they have a quarterback there that is not their guy. And whether they realize it or not, they're kind of sabotaging that person.
No, they have to realize it. When you take your starting quarterback out of the offense in red zone situations, that's an insult to your quarterback. When you punt from the 29-yard line, I've never seen anything like that in my life. I have never seen anything like that in my life. Yo, you punting from the 29-yard line, fam? If nothing else, it seemed like there was a desire to protect the spread. So let's get Stefanski on the hook, perhaps, for manipulating the spread and the score. If that's something that'll help get him out of there so that Shedeur could thrive and flourish under somebody who wants to see him thrive and flourish, then let me be the first person to throw that at the wall and see if that sticks. Because punting from the 29-yard line is insane. That is nobody does. I've never in my life seen that, yo.
Who is the kicker? Like, we're not doing a field goal there? I don't.
Hold on. Let me. I need to see what the spread was. I'm sorry. I got it. I have to know.
It looks like it was 37.5.
And what? And
it was 34 points. It was 24-10. Let me see who the Browns play next week. The Browns play the 49ers.
Okay.
And I think it's just going to be interesting to see if Dylan Gabriel is back from concussion protocol, if he still gets the nod.
He will. Whenever he's ready to play, I think he's going to play because there is this. Yeah, I think he'll start whenever he's ready to play. And that's unfortunate. It's going to put him in a worse spot as well. He has a world of pressure on him. Anything less.
On top of that, the fans aren't seeing it for him. I think I covered this in a short last week. Shedeur had to come out and say, like, hey, like, y'all need to stop booing Dylan and calling for me, because he's like, it just makes the whole situation bad. He's like, it makes me look bad because I'm not even doing nothing, but people looking at me, like it just puts him in a weird situation because the fans are calling for Shedeur and they're booing Dylan.
Yeah.
And y'all keep playing the man.
There's a lot that I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. Because I don't want to make everything like race related. I don't. But sometimes there's just certain undertones that feel familiar. And the spirit of him is too bright for Cleveland as a whole. And I got some good friends from Cleveland. And they're good brothers, but Shedeur needs to be out of this situation. He needs to be away from this team. I don't know another team in the league he can go to and start or have an opportunity to start, for next season. So from a playing standpoint, this is probably his best opportunity to have his own team. But man, I really, really wish that he was somewhere that respected and honored his anointing.
And I saw Antonio Pierce say that before, they moved on from him in Vegas, that they were definitely going to draft Shedeur. I thought that even if he was up under Geno Smith, that's better than...
Not the way Geno been playing. Sit your ass down to the bench.
But at least it would be a situation where he's being, like nurtured as like his backup, where now it's like this carousel where nobody really knows what's going on. Like, I don't think that they would have did him like that in Vegas. That's just my personal opinion. Who am I? I don't know.
Yeah, man. We'll see what happens next with Shedeur Sanders, but y'all let us know whether or not you feel like he should be the permanent starter going for the Cleveland Browns. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, let me know if y'all feel like the Cleveland Browns organization, top to bottom, is intentionally putting him in position to fail. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section, man. I'm interested to know, Samaria. Ha!
And go check out our newsletter. The link is in our bio. We have all the latest happenings in sports over there for you, in our shorts and all the things. So go check it out.